Bumblebee has literally only spoken in one scene. And what's up, everybody? It is Alfonso Peterman here today, and welcome to another episode of my Approaching TF5 series. This is simply a series where I discuss all the facts and the rumors in regards to the upcoming Transformers The Last Night movie. This is episode number 100, guys. We have hit triple digits, and I'm so happy I finally made it. It is a personal milestone for me, so thank you guys so much for supporting me all the way. And in this video today, I wanted to talk about something that a lot of you guys are talking about and the entire community is discussing and pondering, and that is Bumblebee's voice in Transformers The Last Night and in the Bumblebee spinoff. But before I get into that, I do want to first of all say thank you guys, all of you, for 3.6 thousand subscribers on YouTube. I am personally grateful for all of your support and all of the things that you've shown me throughout the years. I am very grateful for that, so thank you so much. We are rising, this empire is growing, and I cannot wait to see where we're going to be in the future, in the very near future. I also want to give a quick shout out to Drake. This is his username. You guys should subscribe to his channel. Drake is a supported member of the Alfonso Nation. Drake supported me in the live stream, so I wanted to just verbally acknowledge Drake. And thank you so much for your support and your overachieving support of my channel. So in this video, yes, I want to talk about Bumblebee's voice because, I mean, a lot of people want his voice to return, myself included. And a lot of people don't really know if this is something that's plausible. Will this actually happen? Will his voice return? Are we going to hear Bumblebee speak? And that is what I want to discuss in this video. So let's just dive right into it. First of all, Bumblebee's voice. Throughout the entire trilogy, I mean the whole thing, Bumblebee has literally only spoken in one scene. And that was obviously in the 2007 film where he says, "Permission to speak, sir. I wish to stay with the boy." And that is all we heard of his voice. And from that moment forward, it was only, you know, him talking through the radio. So that should have raised question for many people. Like, if Bumblebee didn't have a voice, how was he able to speak in the 2007 film? The answer to that is Bumblebee does have a voice. He's always had a voice from 2007 to 2017. He has always had a voice. However, I'm going to revert back to what Ratchet said when he was introducing Bumblebee to Sam. He said his vocal processors were damaged in battle. I'm still working on it, meaning he's still working on the device to fix his voice. But if you look at the key word, Ratchet said his vocal processors were damaged in battle, not destroyed in battle, not ruined. You know, his vocal processors still function, but they've been damaged. So that was proof, that was evidence right there in that scene where he spoke that his vocal processors do work. It's mainly because of the damage that he endured. He endured a lot of damage. Whatever happened to him, it probably even hurts for him to talk, or it may not function right if he continues to talk. So I think he may either be preserving his voice, the little that he has, or it may be painful for him to speak at some points. So that's my belief on why Bumblebee only spoke once. Now, although his voice was damaged, and he still is able to speak, he doesn't. He doesn't talk. He only talks to radio. And the main argument, or the main question, is will he be restored? Will that voice be restored? Well, before we could predict whether his voice would return, I think it's only plausible if we would take a moment and just ponder, why should his voice return? Why should the writers bring back the voice of Bumblebee? Well, for one, the fans. You know, a lot of fans want this. This is something that many people want. And if they don't get what they want in the time that they want it, what happens? Fans complain. And that is one thing that I believe the writers take into consideration, because the fans are the people that support these movies. The writers write it, the producers produce it, the director directs it. But if nobody watches it, it's pointless. So, you know, hearing the feedback from the community is always important for writers and producers, for them to make films that people are going to like, people are going to enjoy. So the fan complaints is a big thing when it comes to their point of view, from their perspective. So I believe that it's plausible for Bumblebee's voice to return because of the fans. Many fans, including myself, want Bumblebee's voice back, and I believe the writers know that, and so I believe they may actually consider bringing his voice back at some point because of the fan complaints. Another reason, obviously, is because of the prequel film. You know, the prequel film is coming up in 2018. That's going to be a film that's solely on Bumblebee. Kind of like The Last Night is on Prime, this is solely on Bumblebee. I truly don't know how they are going to construct a film around a character that cannot verbally communicate using his voice, only radio. I mean, if you're a main character, think about it, there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of talking, you're the main character. So if you're the main character, there's a lot of talking, I don't think it's going to be plausible for him to be, or even efficient for him to speak only through his radio. I think it's only plausible for him to speak through his voice. So that would be a great idea for a prequel, and it'd be great to bring it back before the prequel so that you would know what to expect when the prequel happens. Another thing is that, you know, he's one of the main characters. Like I said, he's one of the main characters. Him and Optimus Prime are gonna go head to head. He may even take the lead of the Autobots in Prime's absence, because there's gonna be a point in the film where Prime is nowhere to be found. Optimus Prime has left us, some say never to return. That is the quote from Edmund Burton. So he is saying, hey, Prime is not even here. So there's gonna be a point in time where Optimus is not there. Well, if Optimus is not there, like I said before, who's going to lead the Autobots? Who's going to lead, you know, the Team Prime? Well, Bumblebee is the next guy in line, which means he is one of the second main characters of the film. If that's the case, you're going to need a voice, because there's a lot of dialogue if there's a lot of screen time. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. Also, he's the most loved Autobot. He is an Autobot that everybody knows about. I mean, I've spoken with people who have not even seen, you know, the Age of Extinction, Dark of the Moon, or Revenge of the Fallen. They've only seen the first film in 2007, and all they can remember is Bumblebee, because he's one of the most loved. I always see the Bumblebee cars, you know, when I'm driving on the road, and I see the, you know, the replicas, they always have the Bumblebee themed vehicles. So he's one of the most loved characters, so it would make sense for the most loved character to speak. Now, another interesting thing is that in the Earth Must Die TV spot, and in the Decepticon Extended TV spot that we just recently got, Bumblebee is seen actually attempting to speak. And it was actually a funny scene, because what came out was not really his voice, it was almost like, kind of like a voice of Siri. So, it wasn't his voice, but you guys should pay attention to that scene, because that's important. That shows you that the movie is going to, at some point, focus on his voice. They're going to focus on his voice and his voice alone at some point in the film. He's going to try to speak and get his voice back. So that's a very important scene. It was funny, but it was very important, because this is a scene where they're actually focusing on the restoration of his voice. So that's very interesting. Now, Cade Yeager and Izzy, I have to just say something about them. They seem, now, first of all, I just want to say, this film is understandably a continuation of Age of Extinction. It is following the events of Age of Extinction. They still have the signs with the aliens and, you know, the report alien activity, you know, remember Chicago, that kind of thing. That is still a thing in this movie. So this is still a continuation. If that is the case, then Cade Yeager from Age of Extinction, who was an amateur and he couldn't invent anything, you know, he would always try to do things and they would break on him. But if this is a continuation, then this is later on in his life, which means he has more experience, he has more knowledge, he knows what he's doing, he's failed enough. So now it's time for him to start succeeding and start building actual great things. I think in The Last Night, Cade Yeager is going to be a brilliant inventor. Him and Jared Carmichael's character are going to be really good partners with the inventing strategy. And I think that when he takes Izzy in, when he takes her in after Canopy is lost, when he takes her in, I believe that she may begin to start learning things, because in the third trailer you can see she is with him in the auto center and she's saying, "Your daughter, what would you say to her?" So she's really hearing from him. She's hearing a lot of the things he's saying, and she's sitting there as he's looking and doing something. So she's kind of watching under his wing almost. She's looking at him, you know, prospecting him almost. So I think Izzy is gonna kind of gain some knowledge and learn how to do certain things because of Cade Yeager's experience. So I believe them two together, along with Jared Carmichael's character, are gonna be a great team for inventions and innovations for robotic mechanics. So yeah, I believe they're gonna be a great pair, and it's gonna be an interesting part in the film. Now, also, you know, we have Squeaks. Squeaks is not a sentient Autobot. He's not an Autobot from Cybertron, okay? Squeaks, obviously, you know, he has no personality. He is just a robot that was created. Almost like what Cade Yeager was trying to create with the paint roller in Age of Extinction. That's almost like a robot with no personality, but with function. So I believe Squeaks is like an advanced part of that roller bot, the roller paint, and all the other bots that he tried to make. Squeaks is his perfection, is what he actually made, and it worked for him. No idea why he would have invented Squeaks, but I'm pretty sure he may be the inventor of Squeaks. But I just say that to say that, you know, Cade is a genius. Cade is a genius, and he might know how to repair Bumblebee's voice box. He might know how to repair his voice and how to restore it. He may not have mastered it, but he may have an idea on what to do, and that might help Bumblebee out with fixing his voice box. So I believe that, you know, him and Izzy as a team may develop a strategy. You see, because in the particular scene where he was talking like Siri, you can see Cade just like, you know, like almost like they made a mistake, or they messed up, or they did something wrong. Well, I highly doubt that Bumblebee is going to stay with a Siri voice, right? I'm pretty sure they're going to eventually develop some type of solution collaboratively to restore it or to fix whatever they did wrong. One of the main reasons why I believe this is plausible is because there was an image that was leaked onto social media by an online user. I forgot his name, but he took a picture of a Bumblebee standee inside of a theater, and that particular image had no speaker on Bumblebee's face. You know, they had that circle on his face that he always has when he's talking through his radio. That's his method of communication as a substitute for his actual voice. But that was gone. It's not even on his face anymore. So there could be a point where he loses that. It might be through the fight with Optimus Prime. Maybe Optimus Prime punches him and it flies off. I'm not sure what happened, but maybe it was just taken off surgically with, you know, with the Cade and Izzy. But that's a very interesting thing, because that's supposed to be on his face and it's not. That's his speaker he uses to speak through the radio, and that's gone. So if that's gone and his face actually looks like there is a form of a mouth on his face, there is a potential that, you know, he may be able to speak using his real authentic voice. Also, you know, there's a plot hole with Bumblebee's voice box. We don't know how he lost his voice in terms of the live action film. All we know is that it was damaged in battle. We don't know how, we don't know who damaged it. Why was it just his voice and not his entire, you know, entire construct? What happened exactly? I believe that mystery behind his, you know, the damaging of it could be revealed very, very soon. I believe that is a plot hole that will be filled in the near future. Maybe the last night or in the spin-off film. But I truly think that is going to be explained at some point. If I had to predict which film would actually reveal that, my prediction would be probably the spin-off. Probably the prequel film. And here's why. First of all, The Last Night, there's way too much going on in The Last Night anyway. There's a secret history of the Transformers that was not explained. So that has to be explained, along with all the other things that has been confirmed for the film. The final battle, the London battle, all the epic stuff going on, Prime turning evil, Quintessa, you know, Megatron, Grimlock, and Cade, and the inventing and all that has to still happen. So I think that might not be explained in detail until the prequel, because the prequel film focuses only on Bumblebee. Well, one of the main characteristics of Bumblebee in the live action franchise is that he can't speak. So I feel like if the prequel film is going to tell an untold story, then that is only plausible to explain how he lost his voice. So I believe in the prequel film is when we're going to see the actual story, what happened to Bumblebee's voice, how did he lose it. That mystery is going to be destroyed in the prequel. That's my prediction. Not sure. They could reveal it in the last night. And even if they do reveal it in the last night, it would be better to do it in the prequel, because again, there's a lot going on in the last night. The story is so complex and filled with details. You know, to add that in would kind of throw us off the idea of the plot. And so I don't really think that's gonna happen. But I truly think it'd be better if Bumblebee and that mystery is explained in the prequel film. So yes, guys, I mean, I'm really excited. We are 9 days away. By the time you watch this, it might be 8. Not sure when I post this, but whenever you see it, we are very few days away. So my closing question to you guys: what do y'all think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Bumblebee's voice is going to be restored in The Last Night? Do you think that it may be restored after the prequel film is released? And also, will the real story behind his voice's reduction, will that be explained? Will that mystery be explained? Do you guys think it will in the near future, whether it be The Last Night or whether it be the prequel film? Comment below and let me know what you think. I truly feel that both of those questions are going to be answered very, very soon in the next 2 films at the most. I surely hope so. So yeah, guys, that's all for today. Again, thank you for all the support, guys. I'm loving it. Shout out to Drake once again. And yeah, guys, I'm so excited. I'm so freaking ecstatic. It's unreal. But thank y'all so much for the support and the love and everything you guys have been showing me. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. My name is Alfonso, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.